All right, everybody, let's keep this real simple. What's going to happen next week? Down. That's it. The video's over. All right, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about next week being down. It will be down. Chances are very, very high, or should I say low, that we will see more downward price action. I can hear people saying, why do you think that is, Bob? Okay, my name's not Bob. But, first of all, the cycle low, the date of the cycle low, we're a little too early. Now, cycle lows do happen early. We're not so far away from the cycle low there on September 21st that it couldn't already have hit a low. But I don't think so. And so I'm sure some of you want to know why I think that. First of all, look at that red candlestick. The last candlestick on Friday. The thing practically closed at its low. I mean, the low of the day was 4406.5, and it closed at 4408. I mean, how many candlesticks can you see in this picture closed at their low? I see one. I see one way back in May. And the next day, it did come up. Huge rebound. Huge. But it's noted that that rebound happened right at the cycle low. Actually, a day after the cycle low. This cycle low, and as a matter of fact, looks like about June 14th or 13th, somewhere around there, was also a candlestick that ended up right at its low. Okay, and that's well past the cycle low. We call those right-hand translation cycles. Okay, this cycle is kind of an ideal cycle, the one we're just about to finish. It started strong, it peaked right near the middle, and it's coming down. So why is that a big deal? Because that is a big deal. Why? Because look at all the previous cycles. They started strong, they might have tracked sideways a little bit somewhere in the cycle, but they didn't peak until all the way on the right side of the cycle. What am I talking about cycle? I know there's a lot on this chart, but look at the green arcs below the candlesticks. There's green arcs there. Okay, those are the daily cycles. Forget the big yellow ones, forget the red ones. Just look at the green ones. Every time you see a semicircle or an arc, on the left side of that arc, where it meets the other arc, that's the beginning of a cycle, and then as you come up and over and down, that's the end of a cycle. Okay, those arcs have nothing to do with price. They're strictly a time attribute, you understand? There's an element of time, not price. Not directly anyway. So just dealing with a time. The amount of time that goes by. That's all a cycle really is at its core. Is time. The price action within that cycle, okay, that's a different issue, and that's a kind of a deep subject matter, okay? Well, they both are, but time and price are both fairly deep subject matters. But in any case, the point I'm really trying to make here is if you look at these previous cycles to the left of the one we're currently in, you'll notice that the prices all peaked just before the end of the cycle. You notice that? It rises up all the way through the cycle and then crashes just before the cycle's over. The previous 3 cycles were that way. Okay, 1, 2, 3 cycles ago, it actually came down after the cycle low was projected to happen. I'm looking at, let's see, including the cycle we're on, we got, going back in time, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles on the screen here. Okay? Every single one of those cycles peaked very late in the cycle and came down. You notice that? If you need to pause the video and look at it, look at it. Every one of those cycles are what we call extreme right-hand translations. That's a fancy way of just saying the cycle peaked right near the end and then came down. Okay? So why am I mentioning that? Because if you look at this cycle we're in, it didn't do that at all. It peaked right in the middle. It didn't peak at the end, it peaked in the middle. Big change in behavior. Big change in the characteristic and the dynamics of this cycle compared to the last 3 or 4 months. Okay? So that already tells me that this cycle is completely different than what we've seen during the spring. Well, part of the spring and all through the summer. Okay? So just right there, if you have a change in characteristic or change in behavior, expect something to be different, right? And we're definitely seeing something different. Okay, so that's number 2. Or actually, 3. The first thing was we haven't really gotten to the cycle low yet, though sometimes cycles end early. I don't think in this case, I don't think that's true. This cycle still has more time to go before it bottoms out. 2, that candlestick on Friday is flush, finishing the day almost at its low. So the downward pressure was very real on Friday. Now I know we had the triple, quadruple witching stuff going on, so a lot of people are going to say, okay, it's over, price is going to rebound. Don't expect that. Not yet. Could I be wrong? Sure. But the probability is very high that more downward price action will occur for at least the first 3 days of next week, maybe 4. We might have a green day in there a little bit, kind of a green day somewhere in there, but on the average, expect price to continue to come down for the next few days. Okay? So those are the 3 things that stand out to me is 1, the cycle has not completed. We haven't really reached the cycle date yet. Okay? But I'm cautious about being dogmatic on exact dates for cycle lows. You got to be really careful because a lot of times they move around. But it is worth mentioning, especially considering especially considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 5 cycles, only one of them was not right on time. It ran late. All the rest were right on time. My instincts tell me that this cycle could run a little late, maybe. Just maybe. Which, if it runs late, that means price will continue down past the cycle low. Let me go look at something. Yeah. I'm just looking at something real quick. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, that doesn't count. All right, so I think it's possible, just maybe this cycle will run long and it'll run past the low, past the cycle, the low date that we're kind of expecting on the right around the 21st. Okay. So that's another thing, just because of the way the dynamics are. Okay, so 1 is I think this cycle could run a little long, and if it does that, that means price will continue to go down in the direction it's been going. 2, Friday's candlestick is flush full of red, closing at its low. That's definitely a sign of weakness. In this case it is, not always, but in this case I believe it is. Okay. It has a totally different characteristic and behavior than the rest of the cycles we've been viewing. Like I said, for May, kind of like middle of the spring or late spring all the way through the summer. And I've got the channel line drawn here. Okay, I'm not looking at the 50-day moving average. I don't like to use exponential moving averages. They are, as they say in England, they're cheeky. Okay, exponential moving averages, I'm not saying they don't have their part, don't play their part in analysis. They definitely do. But they tend to make you feel good. They kind of smooth things out. They make you feel good. No. Stick with a simple. In this case, it's better to stick with a simple moving average, not an exponential moving average. Okay, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm just drawing a trend line. I'm just connecting the low points that are very obvious in the last 3 cycles. Okay, and if we extend that line to the right, Friday definitely crashed through that trend line. It just blew right through it. That's happened before, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's noteworthy, right? Again, a behavioral change. And last, I'll just say there's a little bit of a secret sauce in here. I won't dive too deep into some other things behind the scenes that I'm aware of that, it's not like it's a big secret or I'm an inside trader. He's an inside trader. He knows stuff. No, it isn't like that. But there's some other things that, kind of go beyond the scope of just putting together a video that I'm kind of aware of that make me believe that we are definitely going to see some more downward price action going into, the first 3 days of next week, whatever, somewhere right around there. So remember, the futures market opens up Sunday night, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm already pretty sure I know what I'm going to do. Definitely going to probably take a position Sunday night. And I don't think I have to explain to you which direction I'll be going in. It should be obvious by now. The other thing is, guys, the last thing I want to say here is, well, a couple of things I want to mention. One is Friday's price ended at 44.08 and a quarter at the end of the futures market. You know, a lot of people look at the SPX, which is the cash index, and that's fine. That's okay to do analysis on that too. But it closes at, I think, it closed at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock East Coast time, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then you get this, there was massive continued price action, downward price action after the SPX, S&P 500 stock market closed. And you don't pick that up when you're doing SPX analysis, right? So the futures continued to trade for another hour. And boy, did they ever, in the last 10 minutes, there was a massive price decline. There was desperation in the last 5-10 minutes of trading. I'm literally down to the last minute. When you see that kind of, people are desperate. And I'm telling you what I think right now also, they're still not out. And this isn't just about September contracts. Okay? Because there's all kinds of stuff that people do, and there's all kind of weirdness that goes on. There's very strange behavior that goes on that makes people do funny things. So the fact that we closed at 44.08, I think I said before last week that I didn't believe it was over. And I happened to be right. It wasn't over. I think that said on a Wednesday or Thursday that this ain't over yet. And it wasn't. And now that I've had time to kind of clear my mind and go for a nice drive, because in Texas we still got some really good summertime weather here. Okay, so I went for a nice drive and just enjoyed my half day and cleared my head and just got away from trading and doing some other stuff. You got to get away from trading, right? You can't just be sitting in front of a computer all the time. And then I was able to get some clarity here. So now I'm going to say it still ain't over. As a matter of fact, that's going to be the name of this video when I put it out. It still ain't over. Okay, it ain't over, folks. Now that I had time to really look at this and just absorb what happened and as we move forward, this ain't over yet. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is I might put out another video today or tomorrow. Probably do it tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, maybe later on today, we'll see. Quite a few people have asked me about futures trading and to comment about futures trading in general. And I have, I think, a 3-part video series I did quite a while back that talks about futures trading. So, as a matter of fact, I'll put that in the description of this video. If you want to go watch those videos, you can. It'll talk about kind of just introduce you to futures trading. But another video I think I'm going to put out this weekend is what are the benefits of futures trading? Why do I trade futures? There are some huge benefits to trading futures over just about anything else. Huge. And I'll discuss that and get into it. And another video I might do, which I'm contemplating, is, how did I become, a few people want to know, how did I become a trader? How did I become a good trader? Because I used to be a horrible trader. I used to be horrible, like 99% of y'all out there. Okay, and I'm not ragging on you or criticizing you. I know what it's like to be a horrible trader. Lost a lot of money in my past. Okay, thank God I don't do that anymore. So I might do a video on that too, but I'm still kind of contemplating that one. So that's what we got going on for this weekend, guys and gals. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You know what? And click that little bell. You get notified of the videos as I put them all out. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.